Hey everyone, so this is my review of Scorpion, Season 4, Episode 3, called Grow a Deer, a Female Deer. And essentially what this episode is about is that Team Scorpion tries to help this endangered pregnant deer who's being hunted by a bunch of poachers. And this was a really, really entertaining and really interesting episode that just seems so different from all the past episodes that they've done, but it did have a lot of those sort of normal moments in a Scorpion episode that were just really interesting to see how all that turned out. And I did really enjoy all just the weird and wackiness in this episode, where it just all these random things just kept happening out of nowhere, where the reporter who did like this newspaper article on Sylvester when he was running for the election, this kid now is his intern. And then there's just a whole bunch of other different random stuff like that. And that was probably my favorite moment in this is Cabe is left behind back in the garage with Ralph as all the rest of the team is in Africa doing like all this chaotic work around saving this deer and stopping these poachers. And he's there like struggling and helping Ralph as Ralph's hacking into like this phone system and stuff, so he's doing that. Then this intern girl shows up and starts baking cookies in the garage's kitchen, and then Cabe's lawyer shows up, starts talking to him, then Cabe's girlfriend shows up and starts yelling at Cabe, and just all this mess of different stuff is happening all at once, and just that was a highlight, really fun moment of this episode for me. And I really did enjoy everything that they did around them saving this deer and saving this baby deer, that them creating like this fake womb to sort of keep the deer sheltered and safe because it's not fully formed yet to be able to live on its own. So how all that worked out and what all they did there was just really interesting to see. And then I especially enjoyed the moments with Sylvester this episode because he again just doesn't like germs, so being around a wild animal and stuff just wasn't a thing for him. But then as this episode progressed, he became more and more attached to this deer, and that was just really interesting to see him doing all this different stuff to eventually protect this deer. And I just really enjoyed that, but it did feel a little odd at the beginning because he, in my opinion, has grown so much as a character that it really felt like in this episode at the beginning when he was just very against protecting this deer, just he wanted to leave it to die and get caught by the poachers and just get out of there and save himself. That just felt really odd to be his character as a season 4 character. That felt much more like the beginning of season 1 version of him. So it just felt odd, but I did enjoy that they did have a growth moment for him in this episode overall. And then I was really kind of annoyed by the moment with Paige and her wanting to make this womb for the baby deer and stuff and no one really listening or agreeing. And then she just essentially went to Walter and was like, you have to do this for me, otherwise we're never having sex again. And that just felt like such a terrible thing for her character. Because, like, come on, Paige, you're way better than using sex to get what you want. So that just really hurt my heart when she said and did that, because that just didn't match her character at all. That just made her feel like she's such a dumb and stupid character, and that's not her anymore. So I was just really annoyed when that line came out, and when the lines later where she's like, I hope you didn't do this just because you want to have sex with me and stuff. Like, that bugged me so much that they put that in there for her character because she's such a better person than that, in my opinion. And then I really enjoyed the moment when Ralph actually hacked into the phone system and like started having all the phones go off of all the different poachers and just having them all like interconnected and stuff. That was interesting, especially when it did show like who was a poacher and who wasn't, and having some people be disguised as non-poachers and stuff. Just that whole reveal was just really interesting to see. And then I have to say, overall, this was a really, really entertaining and really interesting episode that I enjoyed so much watching and seeing all of what they did. And like I said, it just felt really out of the element of what Scorpion has done in the past. And because of that, I really enjoyed seeing what they all did. So yeah, that's my review of Scorpion Season 4, Episode 3, called Grow a Deer, a Female Deer. So yeah, bye!